Hello, thanks for joining us today. Let's start by having you introduce yourself and tell us about your journey in graphic design.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Liam, and I've been working in graphic design for about 6 years now. I studied graphic design at RMIT, where I developed a strong foundation in visual communication, typography, and branding. After graduating, I worked at a small design studio, which allowed me to handle multiple types of projects ranging from print to digital. Over the years, I've gained experience in logo design, web design, packaging, and UI/UX design. I've also had the opportunity to work with clients in various industries, which has helped me refine my ability to adapt designs to different audiences.
That sounds like a well-rounded background. What initially drew you to graphic design as a career?
I've always had a passion for art and creativity, but what really attracted me to graphic design was the idea of solving problems visually. Design isn't just about making things look good, it's about communicating ideas and messages in a way that resonates with people. Whether it's creating a logo that encapsulates a brand's identity or designing a user-friendly website, I love the challenge of combining form and function.
Can you share a project that you found particularly challenging and how you overcame the obstacles?
One of the most challenging projects I worked on was a complete rebranding for a tech startup. The company was going through a significant shift in their business model, and they wanted the new branding to reflect their future direction while still maintaining some connection to their roots. It was difficult because the client's vision was initially vague, and we had to go through multiple iterations to get it right. I overcame these challenges by investing a lot of time in understanding their new goals and conducting thorough competitor research. I also presented a few different design directions early in the process to gather their feedback. Ultimately, we arrived at a solution that modernized their brand while still feeling familiar to their existing customers.
How do you typically begin your design process when starting a new project?
My process always starts with research and understanding the client's needs. I begin by asking questions about their brand, their target audience, and the goals they hope to achieve with the design. Once I have a clear understanding of their objectives, I dive into research. This can include looking at competitors, market trends, and visual inspiration. I also spend time brainstorming and sketching out rough ideas before moving to digital design. This initial phase is crucial because it lays the foundation for the entire project.
How do you approach working with clients who may not have a clear idea of what they want?
In those situations, it's all about asking the right questions to uncover what they need. I'll often start by asking them about their business goals and who their ideal customers are. I might also ask them to share some examples of designs they like or don't like, which helps me get a sense of their preferences. From there, I'll create some preliminary concepts to guide the conversation. It's important to be patient and collaborative, helping the client articulate their vision even if they're not sure how to express it at first.
How do you balance creativity with practical considerations like timelines and budgets?
I believe creativity thrives under constraints, so I see deadlines and budgets as opportunities to be resourceful rather than limitations. That said, I always prioritize good communication with the client to set realistic expectations from the start. I make sure to understand their timeline and budget constraints and plan my design process accordingly. If the project timeline is tight, I might suggest focusing on the most impactful design elements first, such as the logo or key brand visuals, and then build out the rest later. Flexibility and adaptability are key in this field.
What role does feedback play in your design process?
Feedback is a critical part of my process. I view design as a collaborative effort, and I encourage feedback from clients at every stage of the project. Early on, I share rough drafts or mood boards to make sure we're aligned on the direction before moving into more detailed work. When I receive feedback, I always take the time to fully understand the reasoning behind it, whether it's coming from the client or their team. In some cases, feedback can lead to new ideas and solutions that I hadn't considered. If there's a disagreement, I'm open to discussing alternatives and finding a compromise that satisfies both the creative vision and the client's needs.
Can you talk about a time when you had to revise a design multiple times? How did you handle it?
There was one project where the client kept changing their mind about the direction of the branding. Initially, They wanted something bold and edgy, but as the project progressed, they shifted toward a more conservative and traditional approach. This required several rounds of revisions. While it was a bit frustrating at first, I realized that the client was going through a discovery phase and hadn't fully settled on their identity. I handled it by maintaining open communication and explaining how each revision would impact the overall design. In the end, we found a middle ground, and the final design was well received.
How do you stay updated with the latest design trends and tools?
I make it a priority to stay current with industry trends and tools. I regularly read design blogs and magazines like Allwood's, Creative Block, and Smashing Magazine. I also follow designers I admire on social media to see what's trending in the design community. In terms of tools, I attend webinars and workshops to learn about new software or updates to tools like Adobe Creative Suite, Figma, and Sketch. I also try to participate in online design challenges, which are great for experimenting with new styles and techniques.
Speaking of tools, which design software are you most proficient in, and why do you prefer them?
I'm highly proficient in Adobe Creative Suite, particularly Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. Illustrator is my go-to for vector-based work like logos, while Photoshop is perfect for photo manipulation and more detailed digital art. InDesign is essential for print layouts, such as brochures and magazines. Recently, I've been using Figma a lot more for UI/UX design because of its collaboration features and ease of use for wireframing and prototyping. Figma's ability to create responsive designs and share them with developers in real time makes it a fantastic tool for web projects.
How do you ensure that your designs are user-centered, particularly when working on digital products?
User-centered design is essential for any digital product. I always start by identifying the target audience and understanding their needs, pain points, and behaviors. I usually work closely with the UX team to create personas and user journey maps to ensure we're designing with the end user in mind. Throughout the design process, I prioritize simplicity, usability, and accessibility. I frequently conduct usability testing, either through prototypes or mock-ups, to gather feedback directly from users. This helps me refine the design to ensure it's intuitive and functional for the target audience.
What's your experience with designing for accessibility? How do you ensure your designs are inclusive?
Inclusive design is something I take very seriously. When designing digital products, I follow accessibility guidelines such as WCAG, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, to ensure my work is usable by people with disabilities. This means paying attention to color contrast, ensuring text is legible, and making sure interactive elements like buttons are easy to navigate with both a mouse and keyboard. I also consider the needs of users who rely on screen readers, ensuring that all images and graphical elements have appropriate alt text. It's important to me that my designs are not only visually appealing but also functional for everyone.
How do you handle tight deadlines or multiple projects at once?
I've had plenty of experience juggling multiple projects and meeting tight deadlines. Time management is key. I break down each project into smaller tasks and prioritize them based on urgency and importance. I use tools like Trello or Asana to keep track of progress and deadlines. When managing multiple projects, I make sure to set clear expectations with clients and communicate regularly to ensure that everything stays on track. If a deadline is particularly tight, I focus on delivering the most critical elements first, then refine the design as time permits.
What do you consider your biggest strength as a designer?
My biggest strength is my ability to blend creativity with strategic thinking. I'm not just focused on making designs that look good. I always keep the client's business objectives and the target audience in mind. I believe that successful design not only captures attention but also conveys a clear message and drives action. I'm also adaptable and enjoy learning new tools and techniques to stay current in this ever-evolving industry.
That's a great skill to have. On the flip side, what's an area you're looking to improve?
I would say I'm always striving to improve my animation and motion graphics skills. While I have experience with tools like After Effects, I'd like to deepen my knowledge in this area because motion design is becoming increasingly important in both digital marketing and UI/UX design. I've been taking online courses and experimenting with small animation projects to build my skill set.
Thanks for sharing that. How do you approach working in a team, particularly with developers or marketing teams?
I really enjoy working in a collaborative environment. When working with developers, I make sure to provide clear design specs, whether through Figma or design handoff tools, to ensure they have all the information they need to bring the design to life. I'm also open to feedback from developers regarding the feasibility of certain design elements. With marketing teams, I focus on understanding their goals for campaigns and ensuring that the design aligns with the overall strategy. Good communication is key, and I always aim to foster a positive working relationship with all team members.
How do you measure the success of your designs?
Success for me is when the design achieves the client's goals while also resonating with the target audience. For digital projects, I look at metrics like user engagement, conversion rates, and feedback from usability testing. For branding projects, success might be measured by the client's increased visibility or customer feedback. I also value long-term success, where the design continues to be effective and relevant even after the initial launch.
One last question before we wrap up.
What motivates me is the constant evolution of the industry. Design trends, tools, and technologies are always changing, and I love the challenge of staying ahead of the curve. I'm also motivated by the impact design can have, whether it's helping a small business establish its brand or creating a user interface that simplifies someone's life. The ability to solve problems creatively and make a real-world impact keeps me excited about this field.
Thank you so much for your time and insight. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity and look forward to hearing from you.